Let's see if I can do this in one take. Chelsea get the here we go on Angelo. Who? I know, right? But he's a wonder kid from Brazil and Santos' latest production after Neymar Jr. Then, Mason Mount has an important meeting between Chelsea and Manchester United. We'll break that down. It happens in the next 24 hours. Caicedo's hunt for Chelsea is going to start happening now. Personal terms agreed. Chelsea are going to be actively chasing him. We've got Kovacic firing shots at Chelsea once he's getting announced for Manchester City. That one hurt, but the truth hurts sometimes. We've got Romelu Lukaku's future getting cleared up in a nicer way because Inter are caving in. I'll tell you about that. And finally, Ruben Loftus-Cheek is gone, and we'll tell you how much money Chelsea received from AC Milan and how much I'm actually going to miss Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I didn't realize I cared that much about him. Bloody hell, I did that in one go. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Kafka's Brat. Okay, guys, I take one day off and all of a sudden I come back with 6 stories. I had to cut out 3 other stories that I didn't think were important enough about Livramento, Christian Pulisic, and Callum Hudson-Odoi. But if you're interested about those, stay tuned because I'm going to talk about them in the coming days. Before we get started and we continue, I need you lot to say one thing in the pinned comment. Hit the like button, please. It goes a mile away. 1,000 likes is what I expect. If you guys want to leave a super chat in the comment below, you will get replied to 100%. It is not a requirement or mandatory. It's out of your own kind of free will. But if you want to leave a normal comment, I reply to most of those anyway. Now let's go on with the video and let's get into it. Angelo from Brazil. What do you know about him? Well, I'll be honest. I've heard about him 1 or 2 times. I've never really paid attention to the player, and say I've watched live games, well, I'd be lying and I'd be bluffing, but I'm not that type of content creator. I'll be honest, I have a life. I actually like to enjoy my life. I don't want to sit and watch football all day, every single league, every single minute, every single stat, analyze every single player in the world. I can't do that. After a certain period of time, I'm not gonna lie to you, I get sick and tired of football too. It's only right? Utility theory. After a certain part of time, the more football I consume, the less I'm going to enjoy it. So I make sure my football intakes are short, snappy, and enjoyable. What do we know about Angelo? I'll break it down, and I'll also tell you what happened. Fabrizio Romano has dropped that we've got a here we go for Angelo for £15 million. The kid was born in 2004, which makes me feel very old, by the way. 2004, was born in 96. Bloody hell. And not only that, he's going to come in for pre-season. He's going to stay with the squad. He's going to stay with Poch. But then we're going to loan him out potentially if he's not ready. What do we know about him? He is a left-footed Brazilian winger. He plays for Santos. They are highly regard him. Very good dribbler. One-on-one is his specialties. In the final third, very raw. Has not developed that one bit. His statistics actually are horrible if you look at him and compare him to the greats that have come out of Brazil. However, if we're comparing every winger that comes out of Brazil to Neymar, we're gonna be running out of players every single day, all right? So the reality is I think it's an unfair comparison at this moment in time. What I think we need to do with this kid, keep our expectations low, keep our expectations down. Let's see what he happens to him and let's see how he develops. I think this is a loan army signing. I think the kid most probably has a lot of talent, but I do not think this kid is going to be at Chelsea this season. I think he's going to go on loan to Strasbourg and it's going to be the first player to go across there and see what we can do. That's my opinion. In regards to Mason Mount, so we are stuck in a little bit of a predicament here, all right? Manchester United don't want to lose face. They already said actively, basically, they briefed every newspaper hearing. We're not getting rid of the initial offer we made. £55 million plus £5 million add-ons is what we have put on the table. We're walking away, remember. Then it turned into, we're not walking away, the table's still there, the offer's still there, but you know, the most important thing, it's not always going to be there, except Chelsea. We heard all of that nonsense. Then, now we heard we don't want to meet up with Chelsea after Chelsea offered a face-to-face meeting, but Fabrizio Romano has reiterated tomorrow, Thursday, there will be a meeting between Chelsea's parties and Manchester United parties. And guess what, peeps? I think when that meeting occurs, we will come down to a natural end to this saga. And the reason I believe it is because Chelsea want to sell this. The reality is Chelsea don't want to pay this man the money he's requesting. Mason Mount wants to move on from the club because he doesn't feel valued and doesn't feel like Chelsea want to keep him, which based on their actions, it's true. And Manchester United, well, at this moment in time, they're just being stubborn and don't want to pay the money that Chelsea are asking for. And they believe they're paying above the odds. In my opinion, they are. I don't think he's worth £65 million, what Chelsea are asking. I don't think he's worth 55. I genuinely believe I would have not bid more than 45 million. 1 year left on his deal, Mason Mount, really? But Manchester United are already dug a hole. They might as well dig deeper and just pay the money now. At this point, just pay 58 million, we'll meet in the middle, or 62 million, and we'll just meet in the middle and let's get this deal done. But Fabrizio Romano says Thursday's going to be a big day for Mason Mount. The news surrounding Caicedo is now starting to heat up. Look, Declan Rice is finally moving to Arsenal. Manchester City have pulled out of the race. Arsenal are about to pay £105 million and they're just trying to negotiate a structure to get this deal done. However, and this is the key, this is the big key, Chelsea and Caicedo have agreed personal terms, and the competition for Caicedo is non-existent, basically. Chelsea are very confident that they can get this deal done. They're going to be actively pursuing this deal, and one way Fabrizio Romano says is by negotiating directly with Tony Bloom. They are going to start this within the next 24 to 48 hours. I think the reason he's saying 24 to 48 is because once the Mount deal was done, Chelsea will essentially start to sign players for next year. And the reason I'm saying Chelsea are going to start booking these players for next year is because 1st of July indicates, what does it indicate? The new financial year in football. They'll put Caicedo's transfer onto next year's books, not this year's books. Hence why they were trying to sell a bunch of players. It's all accounting mumbo jumbo that none of us most probably understand, so I'm not going to bore you. We are taking steps in a positive direction, and we need to be positive that we could get the Caicedo deal done. Happy days, because he is integral. Enzo, Caicedo, Santos, and hopefully one more midfielder like Fabrizio Romano said, then I'm going to be a very happy person and I will have some optimism for next season. At the moment, I am still a little bit bricking it, I'll be honest. Mateo Kovacic gets announced at Manchester City, and we are starting to see murmurs come out that I don't like. And the reason murmurs are coming out left, right, and centre is because Chelsea's ownership, I believe, the way they handled the situation of when they took the club, they were a little bit rash. They were overly eager, and they really wanted to stamp out the old regime and almost indicate that we are here, estoy aquí, in the words of Cristiano Ronaldo. I am here, and I am going to do things my way or the highway. And the reality is, it ended up being the highway for a lot of people. Bruce Buck started going down the highway. Marina Garaskaya left the club. Petr Cech left the club. A bunch of the coaching staff left the club. Doctors, nurses in the club left the club. Like, a lot of people were just told, listen, you're surplus to requirement, please move on, allegedly. And more importantly, a lot of them left, all right? Now we're starting to see the impacts of what happened after the first year. We had a really reckless transfer window where we signed Koulibaly, who is now gone. We signed Cucurella, who now is devalued in his career as well as his transfer fee. We got Raheem Sterling, who we paid massive money to, and he looks raring to go. And I'm actually really excited to see what's going to happen next year. And finally, a bunch of senior players are leaving the club. Like, if you actually deep it from a logistical standpoint, let's look at it. We've got Koulibaly, we've got Hakim Ziyech gone, we've got Jorginho gone, we've got Kante gone, and Kovacic is gone. We basically have a non-existent midfield at this moment in time. And Kovacic going out the door said some things that was very interesting. I loved my 6 years at the club. I loved that statement because we loved having you, Mateo. Then he said, I want to go to a place now where it's all about winning trophies, and I want to just collect as many as possible. That's what he said, basically, not verbatim, in essence. He also said it wasn't up to Chelsea's standard and it's going to take time basically to recover. Why is he saying that, and why do I think it's shots? I think he's basically reiterating the club we know and the club we love under Roman Abramovich is no longer there. The club where I had faith that no matter how bad the season gets, we will sack our manager and we will find a way to take something from that season is gone, is no longer here. Roman used to run a ship. And the way he used to run a ship was no nonsense. If you mess around, you will get replaced. And if you get replaced, the next man coming in will know what he has, he'll know the assets he has, and he will try to overachieve. And the reality is, and this is the fact of the matter, we were very successful. People can try to deny it, but Mateo Kovacic coming out and saying this is damning, and it's ugly. It's absolutely damning, because we are going down a road where we are only looking at young players, and that is a problem. That's a video for another day. That is a video for me to make when the transfer window is coming close to an end and we can actually analyze what the squad is, and I can make my formal prediction of what's going to happen with the season. So what has happened? Kovacic is left for £25 million, nearly 30 million euros and 35 altogether in a package, which is nearly 30 million pounds. That's good business. Kovacic moves on. Happy days for him. I'm going to miss you, Kovacic. The news about Romelu Lukaku is interesting because Romelu Lukaku is stuck in a little bit of a predicament. We've had his lawyer come out. We spoke about this in the past. His lawyer really reiterated it's up to Inter Milan to put the money where their mouth is, right? And we're starting to hear that Manchester United are interested in Onana after their little scandal with David De Gea. With all this nonsense going around, Manchester United might actually secure Onana. And when they secure Onana, there'll be some money coming to Inter Milan, and Inter Milan are going to try to secure Romelu Lukaku. But this is where it gets very interesting. Inter Milan are proposing Chelsea a loan. They're like, we'll take him on loan and we'll give you an option of 30 million pounds or euros, sorry. Chelsea said, no way, Jose, I'm not interested in this. We want an obligation. We understand that you don't have the finances, but we'll get a little brother you, okay? Don't worry, we'll help you out. We'll help you get off your feet. You know what, them ones, you're sitting on my couch, you're messing around, you're eating my food. I might as well give you one of my problems to hand. In this situation, I'll nice you. That's what Chelsea said. Inter are finally coming around to the obligation. Inter are like, okay, cool, I'll repay you your money. I'll give you 30 million euros, plus I'll give you a loan fee for taking the player on loan. The issue is I don't want Chelsea to do this. The reason I don't want Chelsea to do this is because I think Inter Milan have been taking a mick. I genuinely do. I think Inter Milan have been bullying us. I think Inter Milan have been playing us. And I think Inter Milan have been trying to act like they're the bigger club and they're doing us a favour by taking a £100 million striker off our hands. And the reality is, that's nonsense. That's absolute nonsense. For me, Inter, find the money. Find the money or give us someone that we want in return. Rumours have it, we're looking at Barella. I don't see Inter getting rid of Barella. And the thing is, if we even knocked on the door for Barella, they'll ask for 80 million plus Lukaku. That's the kind of stupidity you get when you deal with Italian clubs. They start saying fees that are just non-realistic and in my opinion, non-ethical. Like, on what grounds can you get Ruben Loftus-Cheek for 15 million euros, and then you can ask for Christian Pulisic for 10 million euros, but then when we knock on the door and say, Milan, excuse me, can we please get Mike Maignan? Nope, sorry, 80 million pounds up front. It doesn't work like that. Sorry, it just doesn't work like that. Both Milan clubs are very difficult to do business with. Juventus is very difficult to do business with. It's frustrating. But that's the update on the Romelu Lukaku saga, and now on to Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Ruben Loftus-Cheek has left the club, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek has left the club after a long tenure. He came through the academy, and he's one that I'm really going to miss. I think Ruben was severely underrated in the team. I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek was almost a scapegoat within the team. People consistently said he's not good enough, when I think he was perfect to be the fourth choice midfielder, and coming in when there's injuries, being a versatile piece, and I would have kept him. I'll be honest, I genuinely would have kept him. But at this moment in time, if you look at the value that he's adding to the financial balance sheet, because people care about that, it's 16 million euros plus 4 million in add-ons if he activates them by staying fit and playing games. So the reality is, we are in a position where Ruben has moved on. He's going to be replacing Sandro Tonali, and Tonali is going to Newcastle for £70 million, which is absolutely crazy when you think of the face of the fee. And I think Milan have upgraded. I'm really going to be excited to watch Ruben Loftus-Cheek next year. You've got Rafael Leao on the left with Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Theo Hernandez. That looks like a very good midfield. That looks like a solid midfield. That looks like a combustive midfield. That looks an athletic midfield. That looks a strong, intelligent, and technically gifted forward line and left-hand side. I'm just really excited to watch him play. The interactions between the three is going to be amazing. Ruben is going to cook in Italy purely based on his athleticism and power. Like, I don't think there is many midfields that can handle Ruben Loftus-Cheek one-on-one. And the fact that he's just going to be able to run at players at will in that league, he does it in the Premier League, so what do you think he's going to do in Serie A? But this was the news, guys. Chelsea have got the here we go with Angelo. Mason Mount's got a big appointment basically about his future coming up, where Manchester United and Chelsea meeting in the next 24 hours. Caicedo is basically going to become a Chelsea player if Chelsea can agree a fee with Brighton. Everything else is done. We've got Kovacic firing shots at Chelsea, but was he really firing shots when he's saying the truth? And Lukaku is potentially swaying out of the door. And the reason he's doing it, because there's going to be an obligation to buy from Inter Milan. And Ruben is gone, but we love him because he came out the youth academy, done a lot for the club, and we really respect him. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you lot enjoyed this video. I took one day off and bloody hell, that was a long video to record. So I hope you lot enjoyed it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Peace out, I'm out.